Yes, very sad. Anyway.
Welcome to Cineverse Theories. I'm your host Tyler, and today we're going to cover every single aspect of Loki's MCU journey in just 8 minutes. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the God of Mischief before Season 2, and I'm going to throw out a spoiler alert for the entire history of the MCU. Alright, first things first, Loki made his debut back in 2011's Thor. He came onto the scene as a jealous, power-hungry trickster, trying to steal the throne from his brother. Loki also has a dark secret that even he didn't know about himself. He's not a true Asgardian. He's actually a frost giant. Loki discovers his true heritage during a heated argument with his adopted father, Odin.
Tell me!
This discovery fuels his desire to prove himself worthy of the throne and strengthens his jealousy towards his brother. So, long story short, Loki dies for the first time at the end of Thor 1. He falls into a wormhole created after the Bifrost was destroyed during his battle with Thor. Loki then drifts through the cosmos until he's finally discovered by Thanos. This takes us directly into 2012's film The Avengers. Loki's lust for power is still on display as the main antagonist of this film, but he's actually working for a bigger threat. Thanos has promised Loki Earth in exchange for retrieving the Tesseract, aka the Space Stone. In order to help him achieve his mission, Thanos gives Loki a powerful scepter that contains the Mind Stone and gives him full control of the massive Chitauri army. Thanos is on a mission to collect the 6 Infinity Stones in order to eradicate half the universe to, quote, save it.
With all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers. They would all cease to exist. I call that mercy.
He is the main antagonist of the entire Infinity Saga in the MCU. So Loki comes out swinging right from the start and levels an entire S.H.I.E.L.D. facility, which puts him on the radar of Nick Fury and the not yet assembled Avengers. Throughout the film, Loki gets captured, kills a bunch of people, then escapes, and then captured and kills a bunch of people. And you'll notice this is sort of a pattern for him throughout his entire storyline. After Loki escapes the helicarrier, he heads to New York where he starts raining down Chitauri from space through a portal. But the army is soon met by the Avengers. There's a massive battle that levels most of Manhattan, and in the end, the Avengers defeat Loki and the Chitauri and close the portal, but not before this happens. Afterward, Loki is captured and taken back to Asgard, which leads us to the events of 2013's film, Thor: The Dark World. In Thor: The Dark World, a new threat emerges, the Dark Elves, led by Malekith, who seeks to use a powerful weapon called the Ether, which is a form of the Reality Stone, to plunge the universe into darkness. Thor decides to break Loki out of prison to help him take down Malekith, but during their first battle with the Dark Elf, Loki ends up dying, again. But it turns out this is just another illusion from the God of Mischief. We see at the end of the movie, Loki is actually posing as Odin, while the Allfather is under one of Loki's spells and his true whereabouts are unknown. Fast forwarding to 2017's Thor Ragnarok, where Loki finally starts to embrace his inner anti-hero, Thor returns to Asgard and quickly exposes Loki's deception, forcing him to reveal his true form to everyone. Thor realizes that Odin is no longer on Asgard and suspects that Loki might have had something to do with it, and the two of them go on a hunt for the Allfather. They find Odin in Norway, where he tells them that
my life was all that held her back, but my time has come.
And vanishes into thin air. Odin's death unleashes Hela, the goddess of death, from her prison, who also happens to be Thor and Loki's older sister. Her identity has been hidden from all of Asgard for thousands of years. She demonstrates her power by destroying Mjolnir with ease. Thor and Loki realize they are completely outmatched and try to escape. This leads to a chain of events that strands Thor and Loki on the planet Sakaar.
I've never met this man in my life.
There they find Hulk and a powerful Asgardian named Valkyrie, who both need some convincing to help leave the planet. But they eventually agree, and the four of them escape to face off with Hela in Asgard. Going by the name the Revengers, the group finally defeats Hela by unleashing the fire giant Surtur, who destroys Hela and all of Asgard in the process. The Revengers and the rest of the surviving Asgardians set out to find a new home, but encounter a massive spaceship at the end of the movie. This foreshadows the events to come in Avengers Infinity War. 2018's Avengers Infinity War picks up right where Thor Ragnarok left off, setting a very dark tone right from the start of the movie. It turns out the gigantic ship at the end of Ragnarok was none other than Thanos and his Black Order. The Mad Titan makes a powerful first appearance and starts decimating everyone, laying out Thor, Hulk, and killing half of the surviving Asgardians, as well as Heimdall. So in a last-ditch effort to kill Thanos, Loki tries to deceive the Titan by offering the Tesseract to spare his life. But Thanos sees through this deception, and while literally choking the life out of the God of Mischief, he chillingly says,
No resurrections this time.
and then snaps his neck. This looked like the end of Loki for good. That is, until Avengers Endgame hit theaters and brought him back to life. Well, sort of.
What?
In 2019's Avengers Endgame, during the time heist, Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Ant-Man travel back in time to 2012 during the Battle of New York from Avengers 1. Things pan out just like they did in the first movie. The Avengers win, Loki's captured, but before he is taken to Asgard, this happens. Loki then vanishes to parts unknown, and we're left wondering his whereabouts for 2 years. So just to clarify, this is not the original Loki. This is a variant of the 2012 version of Loki. Well, turns out Loki's little Tesseract escapade lands him right into the arms of the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, who are basically just time cops keeping the sacred flow of history in check. They make sure no one messes up the sacred timeline by pruning specific variants that cause trouble to the timeline. The TVA agents work for the mysterious Timekeepers. But we've got a video coming out in a few days that will dive into every single detail of Loki Season 1, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here. Anyways, Loki is taken back to their headquarters where he meets an agent named Mobius.
I'm Agent Mobius, by the way.
Mobius uses Loki to track down a rogue variant that is wreaking havoc across multiple timelines. It turns out the specific variant is none other than Loki, but there's a twist. This one goes by the name of Sylvie, who is a female variant of the Trickster. When Sylvie and Loki first meet, the sparks start flying, and I'm not talking about in the lovey-dovey way. These two clash hard, and there's a ton of madness, and dozens of other Loki variants all battling each other. Amidst all the chaos, there is a hint of understanding, and maybe even a smidge of connection between the two of them. Okay, so maybe a little bit more than a smidge. Loki and Sylvie end up in a place beyond time and space, a purgatory known as the Void. It's basically a dumping ground for all the pruned timelines and variants, guarded by a monstrous entity called Alioth. Another variant of Loki, known as Classic Loki, uses its powers to create a grand diversion, distracting Alioth long enough for Loki and Sylvie to combine their enchantment skills and dissipate the beast, revealing the Citadel at the end of time, the home of the true creator of the TVA. So here's the big twist of the season. It turns out the TVA wasn't what it appeared to be, and the Timekeepers are nothing more than a grand illusion. The puppeteer behind this charade is actually a variant of Kang the Conqueror, a dude named He Who Remains. He offers Loki and Sylvie a choice: take his place and continue maintaining the TVA, or kill him and unleash a chaotic multiverse with countless dangerous Kang variants. The catch? He's tired, and this is the first time he genuinely doesn't know what's going to happen next. And it's decision time, and the weight of the multiverse hangs in the balance. With very little hesitation, Sylvie drives her blade into He Who Remains and kills him right in his chair.
See you soon.
Sylvie's actions shattered the carefully maintained sacred timeline, causing the multiverse to fraction and realities to branch out into utter chaos. This sets the stage for various MCU projects such as Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the What If series, Ant-Man Quantumania, and pretty much the rest of phases 5 and 6. So now that you're caught up and ready for Loki Season 2, what do you think is going to happen? Well, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next video.